Arts strengthens our culture, it brightens our lives, and it is where we find hope. Come and join us in celebrating the National Arts Month 2022 with the theme Sining ng Pag-asa.
Mabuhay! Good day to all! I am your tutor Madge. Welcome to ETUlay, a free online tutorial, an initiative of the Department of Education, Information and Communications Technology Service, Educational Technology Unit, ICTS EdTech. This program is aimed at helping and assisting learners from kindergarten, senior high school, ALS, Alive and SPED learners. Aside from answering the modules, the ETUlay is offering programs which you will surely look forward to. Together with our parents and teachers, the ETUlay will bridge the gaps where difficulty and ease meet in learning new knowledge and skills. So, let us prepare our modules, pen and paper. Ready your mind to see and hear worthwhile and interesting lessons. Let us now study and learn, together with our volunteer online tutors. Tara na!
In time of social distancing, the importance of staying connected through stories, media, and news is so pertinent. Our current global crisis has unveiled the dependence we all have on media and news to connect us.
In the academe, it trains students to be responsible members of the society. Students should be continually trained to produce a paper that is fair, balanced, and investigative.
Hello, it's Choose English Day and welcome our senior high school learners.
I am Tutor Zen.
I am Tutor Nova,
We are your tutor tandem.
and this is Campus Journalism for Beginners. So hello, Ma'am Zen. It's a Tuesday and it's now Choose English Day, and we will be together from 4:40 in the afternoon down until 5:20 p.m. Ma'am Zen. So happy Valentine's Day. How did you celebrate your Happy Hearts Day yesterday, Ma'am Zen? Let's talk about hearts right now before we proceed to our main
That's right.
topic today.
Yes, that's right, Ma'am Nubs. Good afternoon once again sa ating lahat, and good afternoon also to you, Ma'am Nubs. Well, I had a good celebration for my Valentine's Day. I can actually see a lot of young couples, especially in the city, spending their time with each other yesterday. What
Oh.
about you, Ma'am Nova?
Well, it's a typical day for me. You know, I always wanted to spend Valentine's Day with my family, so we went out for a quick beach trip getaway, just quick dinner. And then the essence of Valentine's Day is just for couples, right? It's also for your family, your special people who's always been there for you, also your friends. So hopefully our students right here with us can always remember that the true essence of Valentine's Day, it's about expressing your love, not just for your boyfriend, girlfriend, but it's also for your
Mhm.
friends and family as well.
Yes, I agree with you, Ma'am Nobs. And also, we should remember that it's not just about the Valentine's Day, or we should consider every day as Valentine's Day
It
because we
is,
don't.
right?
Yes, that's right, Ma'am Nobs, because we don't know what lies ahead. So we must seize the time, seize the moment, carpe diem.
Oh, that's a quite deep, but yeah, it's a note that they should remember, Mamzen. Well, for today, Mamzen, as our student viewers might have noticed, that we are actually having new set of tandem and new set of uniform too. So right for me, I am wearing our Itulay polo shirt, and as for Mamzen, she is wearing the new uniform for 2022 because quarter three is refreshing. We are
Mm-hmm.
offering new subjects for you, our senior high school learners, and of course, new tandem and new learning adventures as well.
Yes, Mom Nubs, and talking about new tutor tandems, I am privileged to introduce to you our new tutors for this subject, Campus Journalism for Beginners. So I
Hooray for
am
that.
I am with Tutor Nova from SDO Bugu City. And
Right.
also, I am Tutor Zen, yours truly from Agusan del Sur. And we are also with Tutor Joseph from SDO Manila, Tutor Nova.
Right. So we are coming from the different parts of the Philippines, our senior high school learners. So we hope we can make your stay worthwhile and with full of knowledge also in our senior high school subjects from 4 o'clock until 5:20 p.m. So as for now, we are having our campus journalism for beginners. So stay
Mhm.
tuned, our senior high school learners. Let us know where you come from right now or what school you come from because today you need to stay tuned because we will be having our pilot episode and of course we have a lot of things prepared for you like our game and we have prizes also. Yay! So we hope you will stay with us because we have prepared 100 peso Gcash and even 50 peso Gcash or consolation prizes. So this is our way to welcome you to our new subject and new set of
Mhm.
tutor tandem as well. Well, for now, Ma'am Zen, since we already revealed to them that this is campus journalism for
Journalism for
beginners,
beginners.
so we will also be revealing to them our targets for today.
Mm-hmm. That's right, Mom Knows. And by the way, talking about the targets, today we will be focusing on the foundation concepts on journalism. Yes, before we're going to explore writing news, writing editorial,
Right.
yes, we need to understand first the scope, the nature of journalism.
Right, Ma'am
All
Zen.
right.
Well, how
Yes.
about you, Ma'am Zen? Before we
Mm-hmm.
reveal totally the objectives or targets of our lesson today, how about you, Ma'am Zen? Like, did you envision yourself when you were young? You wanted to be a journalist when you were still a kid, and what happened now?
Yeah. Yes, actually, Mom knows in our yearbook, in the fourth year high school, I actually stated in there that I want to become a journalist someday. So
Oh,
yes, though I pursued the course, the education course, I have handled journalism subject in our school. So that's also good. Though I did not really take entirely the journalism course, but at least I was I am handling this subject in our school. What about you,
right.
Mom? No.
Although,
Mm-hmm.
well, for me, Ma'am Zen, my father used to be a part of a radio not sure if it's a job or an organization. So he was also a journalist, and maybe when it comes to voiceovers or when it comes to hostings, I might have
Mm-hmm.
inherited from my father. So thank
Oh.
you, Papa. So he's in heaven right now, but we all have what we call the idols in our life, right? So I know our
Mm-hmm.
students right now also have their own idols. So hopefully they can share it to us in our comment section. So, Mom
Mm-hmm.
Zen, could we reveal our objectives or targets right now?
Yes, Ma'am Num. So, to our dear learners, here are the targets in this session. So, after this, you are expected to first identify the tenets of journalism, second, compare and contrast journalism and literature, and lastly, explain freedom of the press.
Yeah, we
Ayan.
have prepared a lot of things for our discussion today. But before that, Mamzen, we also need to make time to acknowledge who are our students right now in the class. So
Mhm.
let's try to read some comments here. So, good afternoon to our students on the comment section, our journalistic students. So, they will be
Yes,
starting their journey for the quarter three. Hi to Elena Eunice Riverell. Please let us know also what school you come from so that we can also acknowledge that.
yours.
Hi to Jan
Yes.
Carla Orquez. Hi to Shira Villarreal Pintor. How about you, Mamsan?
Mhm. Hello, also Micaela V. Andrino, Carlos Miguel Malonzo, Gia Canama, Aizel Altaya, Rosan Jane Halang, and Rose D. V. Pilayo from the city of
All
Bugo.
right. Yeah, they're from City
Mm-hmm.
of Bugo Science and Arts Academy, and now we are called the City of Bugo Senior High School. So they are my
Mm-hmm.
students, so I'm really happy they were able to accept my invitation to be here in the class. So this is just a bonus subject because this is a special program, by the way. It's campus journalism for beginners. So we hope you will learn a lot more today. Because for
Mm-hmm.
second semester, I think reading and writing and also English for academic and professional purposes, it is offered for the second semester. So I think it's great that they have the foundation when it comes to journalism. So
Mm-hmm.
how about we test their skills when it comes to journalism, Mamzen, by giving them a short activity like what they can see on screen. Could you
Yes.
try to expound it for us,
Uh,
Mamzen?
all right. So to our dear learners, what you can see now in your screen is a spider web diagram. Now, at the center of this diagram is the word journalism. Now, to our dear learners, try to prepare your answers in the comment section for this question. What words can you associate or what words can you connect with the word journalism? Ayan.
All right. Okay,
Yes.
hopefully our student viewers was able to get that quick direction or instruction. And we also
Mhm.
got here on the comment section is from Enrico Dalupan. He says, I miss Cheater Alvin. Well, don't worry because Cheater Alvin was actually airing earlier. It was 4 p.m. until 5:20, and he is with his new tutor tandem and with the subject English for academic and professional purposes. I miss him too, but hopefully yeah, you will stick with us on our subject, campus journalism for beginners. We'd love you to be here. So, Zen, hopefully they were able to,
Think of
gradually
words.
type their,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, their comments or answers in the comment section. We have
Mm-hmm.
Lyle Flores. Oh, wow. She's
Mm-hmm.
a great student.
Oh,
Lyle says neutrality.
neutrality. Okay, so we have the word neutrality and then another word from Lily, expression. All
Great.
right. And we have from James Maswanga, that's freedom.
Oh,
Right.
amazing. And we
Yes.
also got here from Alan Martesu's journalism, it's about the truth. And Carlo Miguel Malonzo, journalism, it's all about broadcasting. Wow,
Consent.
impressive.
Mm-hmm. Big words.
All
All
right.
right.
Well, you know what, Mamzen, our
Mm-hmm.
student viewers right now, we have maybe a pool of students who are into journalism because bingo, they were able to give us words that could really be associated to the word journalism. Now,
Journalism.
before getting into the skills of writing journalistic articles, our student viewers, anyone must have a fixed understanding of the scope of modern day journalism. Because right now it's
Mm-hmm.
2022. So we have different journalism techniques that came to birth. So huge as it is, journalism is everywhere. Right, Mamzen?
Yes, Ma'am Nobs, like journalism exists where media is. So, to our dear
Right.
students, yes, if you're using the media, you can actually see a lot of information, and those information can actually be categorized under the journalism. But also, there are considerations for that, Ma'am Nobs.
Right, Mamzan. Well, since you've mentioned about media, media is also considered as the integral part in all of our lives, Mamzan, especially
Mm-hmm.
now that our senior high school learners, they are tagged as the 21st century learners. So they are into the, what we call this one, parang yung mga modern talaga na mga technologies, or they're more into their devices. So where there is media, journalism exists, our
Exists.
senior high school learners, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is why for today we will be unlocking what journalism is.
Mm-hmm. And also, our dear learners can quote unquote what you've said earlier, Ma'am Nobs. Where there is media, journalism exists.
Exists. Do not forget
Yes.
that, okay?
Yeah. All right. So for now, let us try to define what is exactly journalism, our dear student viewers. Okay. So journalism is concerned primarily with the collection and dissemination of news through the print media as well as the electronic media. Like what Ma'am Nava had said earlier, it's not just about nowadays it's just not about the newspapers or radios or magazines, but the dissemination of information has reached the electronic media. Say for instance, Facebook, or
Right.
it could also be in the broadcasting, anything that could be associated with e-media.
That's right, Mamzen. Well, journalism, when we talk about journalism, it's about communication of day to day information. So,
Mm-hmm.
everyone, we are like, even the average person, we can say we are journalists in our own way, right? So, we process or convey information in day to day basis. May it be through sounds, may it be through pictures, and may it be through words. And as what we have mentioned earlier, where there is media, journalism exists. So for our student viewers, they're actually what we call the generation wherein they are into media. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
journalism actually takes place, and they're also called the
Mm-hmm.
journalists. Now,
Mm-hmm.
journalism, our student viewers, it comes from the Latin word diurnal, which means daily.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's right, Ma'am Nubs. So, like what you have said earlier, the information or the news that are happening every day or from day to day basis are being transcribed in the media, and thus this is considered as journalism.
It is. Bingo.
Mm.
All right. So, oh, we also have here in our comment section Tutor Alvin. Tutor Alvin.
Oh,
Annyeong. All right. So we are
안녕하세요.
happy that you're here with us. So earlier,
Mm-hmm.
one of our student viewers was looking for you, but I think he's still here. So glad that you're here also, Sir Alvin. Thank you for being here. Now, we got here different graphics on the screen. So our student viewers, our journtastic senior high school learners, could you tell us, please, and help us try to identify what these graphics represent? Could
Mm-hmm.
you help
Mm-hmm.
us with this?
Yes.
These are simple graphics, but this actually comprises journalism. Could you help us identify what these graphics are?
Graphics are. Yes, that's right. And
I think they're still processing.
oh. All right. So we have Mom Nobs from
News.
Lyle. News,
Yeah.
yes. Mm-hmm. That's correct. What about the other graphics?
All
News.
right.
Mm-hmm.
News. News again. News also. Merme Yonson. News. Okay.
Okay.
Hello
So
also to
let's.
Sheila May. All right.
Mhm.
Information. We have Carlo Miguel Malonzo, and he says information. And the
Question.
others, they were saying or commenting here on our comment section. It's news and media from James
Media from
Masarangkat.
James. Yes. Print media also from Janelle Villaporte. Mm-hmm.
Okay, they got
Okay.
that right. But of
Mm-hmm.
course, they'll try also to reveal, Mamsan, what these graphics stand for.
Okay. So what are these graphics? These are actually the first one, newspaper. And then we
Mm,
have the other one, the magazine. And the last one is the TV news. All right.
right.
So, mhm. Basically, Mom Novs, these graphics are actually the areas where journalisms are being produced or printed.
Right, right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's try to know more about these different areas, Mamsen. Starting off with the first one, it's about newspaper.
Paper.
So,
Yes.
newspaper originally started life as journals, from which the word journalism is derived, which means
Mm-hmm.
daily, right? So that's why we
Mm-hmm.
have newspapers. We have it fresh every day because newspaper it started as journals and it's day to day basis. So, newspaper also played a large role in the development of freedom of expression.
Mm-hmm.
Um, since we also mentioned about newspaper and we are technology driven now, Mamzen, so I'm very curious to know, Mamzen, if there are also
Mm-hmm.
student viewers here with us in our live session today who are still reading newspapers, like the printed ones. Is there
Mm-hmm.
anyone here on the comment section? We'd love to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hopefully you can leave a comment right now and tell us about why you got into reading newspapers. What's interesting about it?
Or if they are still reading newspapers, especially
Yeah,
nowadays. Mm-hmm.
nowadays it's very important. Although anything can be read online, but we're just curious if there are still 21st century learners who are into
Mm-hmm.
newspapers.
Okay.
Now,
And
moving
oh,
on, Mamzan. Oh, okay, go
yes.
ahead, Mamzan.
Yes, mom knows. And also, I would like to add on the newspaper, like it played a large role in the development of freedom of expression.
Mm.
Back then, actually, newspaper just contains the mere activities of people, but it
Oh,
but it eventually turned out to be newspapers served as an avenue for the writers to express their sentiments, especially when it comes to the corruption that is occurring in groups or in their institutions, like for the people back then. That is why the
so
freedom of expression was exercised with the use of newspaper.
that's right. So even right now, Ma'am Zendaba, it still played a great role. The
Mm-hmm.
newspapers. So hopefully, maybe one of our student viewers are still into reading newspapers. May it be printed ones or may it be through online. All right.
Yes.
So, Ma'am Zen, let's
Mm-hmm.
go ahead to the next area where journalism takes place. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
this is what we call Mamzen magazines. So magazines are publications containing a variety of articles that are generally published on a regular schedule, whether it be weekly, monthly, or quarterly. So,
Mm-hmm.
like newspapers, it's also played a huge role when it comes to journalism. However, magazines, this is like published following a regular schedule, but
Mm-hmm.
newspapers, it's like happening or publishing all every day. It's a daily basis.
Almost
For
every day.
magazines, there is a regular schedule that is what we call it's followed. So also, Mamzen, when it comes to the format, so magazines are more relaxed, or it
Mhm,
has what we call their own style, a different style. Not really. It has a distinct style, not the same with a newspaper. So I
mhm.
think our journalistic students right here might have read magazines once in their life. I might
Yeah.
suppose. So
Yes,
hopefully
yes.
one of them can care to share in our comment section.
I even actually prefer reading magazines, mom novs, than
Oh, why is that so?
newspapers.
Could you tell us?
Yes.
So you
No.
prefer magazines over
Mm,
newspapers, Mamzen?
yes, mom knows. Though I believe that newspapers are much more important since all the information that we need to learn of every day are
Mm,
found in newspapers. But actually, magazines are entertaining. So that's why I
right,
prefer
Mamzen.
that one.
I can also remember this quote that newspaper they does not cost much, right? Even
Mm-mm.
magazines, they do not cost much, but the knowledge that you gain from that single peso that you spend, um,
Mm-hmm.
you will learn a lot. So parang kahit gaano pa kamura yung newspapers and magazines, pero yung learning mo talaga is hindi nababayaran ng even a single peso. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why parang ang sinasabi, knowledge is power. So we can also get that when it comes to reading or making it a practice to read every day. What's going
Reading.
on? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
what's going on around us. So magazines, newspapers. Now the third
Papers.
area, Mamzen, is what we call TV
The
news.
TV news, right, Mom Nubs? And TV news or television news journalism, including radio, is known as news broadcasting and is produced locally in a newsroom or by a broadcast network. So I know that our dear student viewers who are with us today are very familiar with this one because most of us have this televisions in our homes, and that it would be indispensable for us not to see our screens flashing news or headlines about current events in our
Right.
surroundings. Yes.
Yeah. Ika nga, Ma'am Zen, bago mo mapanood yung mga probinsyano, kinakailangan mo munang manood ng TV news.
News.
So, dapat we also need to make it a practice, diba? Meron naman tayong different skills na siguro ang iba not into reading, so they'd
Mhm.
like it more or even better
Uh,
when they can see something
Viewing
or when they can, yeah, viewing, or when they can hear something. So that's why we also have journalism in this area. It's TV news. So
news. Yeah.
siguro may mga iba dito na who are inspired by those personalities they have been seeing on the television delivering news. Maybe
Hmm.
Karen Davila or those people. So they're quite inspiring also. I also admire them because I also wanted to be one of those news reporters or
Anchors.
news anchors, but I did not have the chance to be on those. But radio, yeah, I tried.
Mm.
But
Oh,
it would
I
be
see.
such a great experience, di ba, Ma'am Zen? So hopefully
Wow.
kung gustong-gusto mo, pwede naman. So baka
Yes,
meron din tayong mga students, Ma'am Zen, na
na
talagang
gustong
into, oo, gusto nilang i-push yung dream nila na maging news
mhm,
anchors or news reporters. So we also got here, Ma'am Zen, one of our student viewers saying,
mhm,
importante po talaga na updated tayo sa mga balita. Kaya kinakailangan po natin ang mga ganyan upang nalalaman po natin ang
mhm.
nagagawa sa buong bansa. Wow, I'm
Ayan,
so
well
proud of my
said.
Tagalog. I'm so proud. Hindi ako nabulol nagbasa, Ma'am Zen. Well, thank you, Carlo Miguel Malonzo. He is right, diba? He is right.
Mhm.
Although we are now in what we call this one, parang
Digi
we're into
digital
Facebook,
era.
digital talaga,
Mhm,
digital era. We're into Twitters, we're into Instagram. So, although yun yung hilig natin. So, meron naman
hmm,
talagang mga different avenues sa Instagram, sa Facebook, sa Twitter na you can still get information from.
siyan.
So,
Yes.
hopefully, our student viewers, our journtastic students can make use of that in that kind of sense.
But actually, in relation to that, Mom Novs also, we also have to be wary on the things that we can read
Yeah,
online, because sometimes some of the sources are actually non-reputable, and some even contain hoax
yeah,
contents.
that's
So
that's
that,
when fake news,
mm-hmm,
started. So you should
sorry,
be
yes,
wary of
ma'am.
that also.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now that we know the different areas where journalism takes place, maybe siguro meron sa inyo na meron pa ring what we call this one. Hindi pa din sila sure
Confusion.
anong distinction ng journalism and literature. Because
Mm-hmm.
when you talk about writing, reading, that's also the same way with journalism. So our journalistic students right now listening to us or watching us in this live session, journalism, literature, what do you think is the difference? Or are they totally the same? Could you please
Mm-hmm.
help us or express yourself on the comment section, please?
Mm-hmm. May kaibahan nga ba yung journalism at literature?
May kaibahan
Ayan.
nga ba? O siya na ba ang nag-iba? Charot lang po.
Ay,
Ayun.
I
Sinegway
love
ko
it,
lang
Mom
because
Novs.
Hearts Day pa din. All
Every
right,
day is
so
Heart's Day,
every day
Mom
is
Novs.
Hearts Day. That's right. Hearts. Okay, finger heart. Now we also got here another expression or insight from Carlo Miguel. He says, kapag sa
Mhm.
internet naman po, kailangan po na magsaliksik tayo ng maigi. Iwasan po natin ang mga fake news. Bago po natin paniwalaan, siguraduhin po muna natin na magsaliksik po
Saliksik
tayo.
po
Right?
tayo.
Research is
Ayan.
important to do our
Yes.
research and our resources. Try to double check or check if it's valid or it's reputable or those stuff. We
Mhm.
need to be really a good researcher in
Cautious.
this type of generation, technology driven na. So ayun. So let's
Ayun.
reveal, Ma'am Zen, what's journalism
Okay.
versus literature.
Ayan. So the following are the distinctions that we can identify out from these two concepts, journalism and literature. So the first one is that facts are the foundation of all the ambits of journalism. Like whatever you write with in journalism, whatever topic you are interested to write about, in terms of journalism or under the scope of
Mm.
journalism, you must make sure that these are anchored from the facts. These are anchored from statistics, or these are taken from individuals who are viable or who are credible as your source
Mhm.
for the information. Ayan. So facts, yung foundation niya, all in all. But when it comes to literature, it could be that it could sprout from the imagination of the writer. Like, it's not, you cannot just stick to what is the fact. You can also try to uh, you can also try to include your imagination or your opinion or
Yeah,
anything
that's
that is
right.
subjective.
So, as what we have mentioned, Mamzen, journalism and literature are both forms of writing, right? See,
Mm-hmm.
literature, it's about imagination and whatever that comes to mind, however you wanted to write it, whether it be in a prose or in a poetry, you can do it that way. But it does not mean that if it's journalism, since it's based from facts, you do not have to be a good writer. So, both of them requires you to be a writer. You need to write. So, they
Mm-hmm.
have a relative style, but both of them meron pa ring distinction, although yung style nila is relative. So you really need to write when it comes to literature and journalism. You both of them requires also creativity in writing. So journalism has main genres that includes news, editorial, and features. So ayun yung
Ayan.
pagkakaiba. Always remember our journtastic learners. that journalism it's leaning on facts, literature is about imagination. Although both of them are forms of writing, they have the relative style, pero meron pa din silang distinction, kumbaga.
Mm-hmm.
Ayun,
That's right, Mom Loves. Okay, so that's for the distinction between literature and journalism. Now let's
journalism.
move on. Yes, Mom Loves.
On
Let's
the
move on to the
tenets
tenets of
or the
journalism.
principles of journalism. So
Mm-hmm.
we before we move on to that part, Mamzan, we have here Mam Rizame Orbon. She says journalism is the activity or profession of being a journalist, while literature is the body of
Body of
all
all
written
written
words.
works.
Very well
Wow.
said, Miss
Mm-hmm.
Riza. Definitely
Mm-hmm.
did her research and based from her experiences also. That's right. Now we
Mm-hmm.
have here on the screen we have the principles or tenets of journalism. So as a student journalist, you need to have these principles, and you also need to know what are these principles, but you are also aware.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's right,
starting
Mom
off,
Loves.
Mamzan, with the first one, it's responsibility.
Stability.
So journalists should have the responsibility, which means to say you should always be aware of your obligations to your readers to write the truth, whatever it
Mm-hmm.
costs. All right, no exaggeration, no bias. Siguro
Mm-hmm.
meron tayong mga iba't ibang mga news na nakikita, 'di ba? So for example,
Mm-hmm.
yung channel A, uh, yun yung na-write niya. Parang
Mm-hmm.
ito yung mga who, what, when, where niya. Tapos si
Mm-hmm.
Channel B, parang meron na
Or
what do you call this one, na
deviation.
add na information or may what we call exaggeration na nangyari. Like, for example,
Mm-hmm.
siguro si Channel A, ang sabi niya is ang korupsyon ay ginawa ng say for example ng ganyang kandidato or ganyang senador,
For the
'di ba?
administration. Yes.
Oo. That administration. And then si Channel B, iba naman yung sinasabi niya. Ang sinasabi niya is let's say dalawang senador or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
siguro may pagkakaiba. So, as what we have mentioned earlier, as a reader, dapat meron din tayong way of researching the truth also.
Mm-hmm.
And us, as a journalist also, na tayo yung sumusulat mismo ng mga news, Ma'am Zen, we should also be
Mm-hmm.
responsible to the readers because we don't want to be perplexing to our readers, right? And we
Mm-hmm.
only need to deliver the truth, nothing
Yes,
but the truth. We should not be biased or not even be
that's the
exaggerating some things.
the truth will set you free, Mom Nubs.
Oh
But by
my
the
God.
way, yes, for your example also earlier, Mom Nubs, when it comes to news writing, we actually have this what we call the angling, in which you as
Mm-mm,
a writer you have the privilege try to um to try to change your headline or to try to change how you present your information
that's right.
depending on your preference on the perspective that you're going to have to include in your write-ups, but with that you must also though you have the privilege to do that one, still you must be responsible enough to know which is not good or whether that angling is good or not, especially for
That's right.
the reputation of that person. Yes,
That's right,
Ma'am
Ma'am
Nov.
Zen. Since we've mentioned about the truth, we also got here what we call journalistic truth, Ma'am Zen. When we talk about journalistic truth, this is a process that begins with the professional discipline of assembling and
Mm-hmm.
verifying facts, okay? So the journalists try to convey a fair and reliable
Mm-hmm.
account of their meaning, subject to further investigation. So again, as
Mm-hmm.
journalists, it is our responsibility to be factual or to be truthful for all the information we wanted to lay to our audience or to our readers. All right, so that is it for our first principle. Now, second one, Mamsen.
Yes, the second one, Mom Nobs, is the freedom of the press as a basic right. Freedom of the press should be safeguarded by the people of media. As members of the media, we have this right we have the right or the basic right to express whatever we want to in news writing or in the writing that we have. But of course, we have to make sure that we are not there is no infraction or there is no
Mm-hmm.
negation of the law that law that is being described in the country where you are working with. So ano siya, you have the freedom but you must also exercise your responsibility.
Okay,
Siya.
That's a great way to conclude that second principle. Now, the third principle, Mamzen, is what we call independence. Now,
Mm-hmm.
independence, when we talk about putting forward the life of one or two persons by slashing the welfare of the general public, is a clear violation of this tenet. So, journalists must be independent voices. Even when we are just a student journalist, we should be
Mm-hmm.
independent voices, right? So, we should not act formally or informally on behalf
Mm-hmm.
of any special interest, whether political, corporate, or cultural. So we should declare to the audience or in any of our political affiliations or even financial arrangements or other personal information that might constitute a conflict of
Mm-hmm.
interest. So always remember, our journtastic viewers or journtastic students, independence is a cornerstone of reliability. All right, so
Mm-hmm.
we should remember this third principle of independence.
Mm-hmm.
Independence, it is a cornerstone of
Of
reliability.
reliability. I love that,
Mhm.
Mom Nubs.
All
The
right,
last
now let's move on to the fourth one and the last one also, Mom Zen.
Yes, Mom Nubs, and this is the objectivity, truthfulness, and accuracy. So you, dear journalists or student
Mm-hmm.
journalists, must check the veracity of your data and information before publishing them to the public. You must make sure that there is no fabrication of the data and that the truth is not distorted in your writing. So
Yeah,
that's
that's right.
simply for number four.
That's
Yeah.
right, Mamzen. To add also, Mamzen, journalists
Mm-hmm.
cannot always guarantee truth, right? So, but
Mm-hmm.
getting the facts right is a cardinal principle of journalism. That's why we are highlighting objectivity, truthfulness, and
And
accuracy.
accuracy.
So, we should always strive for accuracy, our dear journtastic viewers. Give all the relevant facts we have and ensure that that those facts have been checked. So, when we
Mm-hmm.
cannot corroborate information, we should say so. So again,
Mm-hmm.
our fourth principle is objectivity, truthfulness,
Truthfulness.
and accuracy. That's
Accuracy.
it.
That's right. All right. So we have the last one, Mom Nobs, and it's fairness. All
All
right.
right, fairness.
Fairness, and the whole point in advocating objectivity is to be fair in presenting information in any journalistic field,
Mm-hmm.
meaning there should be no bias in presenting information. You must present the two sides of the coin. That's
Mm-hmm.
actually from Nova. All
That's
right.
right.
So yes, the
It's
pros
it's
and
uh,
cons.
Yeah, that's right, Mamzen. It's given that most stories at least have two sides, right? So
Mhm.
while there is no obligation to present every side and every piece, story should be balanced and add context, right? So always
Mhm.
remember our fifth principle, it's fairness, all right? Present the two sides of the story or the two sides of the coin. We should be fair and we should not be biased.
Mm-hmm. And that's for the last one, Mom Novs. Now let's move on to the kind of balanced reporting. So, what are
Mm,
this kind of balanced reporting, or what are these things that type of reporting that we need to avoid of, especially as ones or as individuals who engage in journalism? Now, the first
right.
one is yes, ma'am. No. So the first one is what we call the yellow journalism, or simply means sensationalizing a story or an issue. And I do believe that most of our learners in here, particularly our students who have joined the campus journalism in their schools, this term is somehow familiar for you since this is actually, what do you call this, occasionally introduced to us. Now, yellow journalism can be associated with the word exaggeration.
Exaggeration, right? Yung parang kina-catfish ka kumbaga. When it comes to love, 'di ba? Yung
Mhm.
akala mo yung nakikita mo is yun talaga. Pero
Yes.
once you open it and once you flip the
Mm-hmm.
pages, all of
It
those were
doesn't
actually
have.
just exaggerated. It's just trying to
Mm-hmm.
hook you so that you can
Mm-hmm.
be interested in reading it or into engaging to it. So that is yellow journalism. Remember the keyword, if it's yellow journalism, it's about
That's
exaggerating or
exaggeration
sensationalizing the
story.
story or even an
Mhm.
issue. Now, the
Yes,
second one, Mamzan, is about new journalism. So, new journalism This is about expanding the definition of journalism and legitimate journalistic reporting and writing techniques. So, this also emphasizes imaginative, stylized writing of stories and considers newspapers as the literature of immediate fact. Now, new journalism, this is actually what we call the type of journalism that just came to birth. This is an
Mm-hmm.
integration with the world of fiction, with the tantalizing stories or even news stories of the day. In a sense, it took the traditional feature writing. So,
Mm-hmm.
just to remember the keyword for new journalism, it's about getting away from traditional feature writing. It's more on about incorporating or integrating fiction in those
Mm-hmm.
stories or news stories. Okay, so remember that keyword so you won't
Yes.
be confused. What's the difference between yellow journalism and the
And
new
new
journalism?
journalism. Yes, and to add to that, Mom Novs, new journalism, it's like if you are the writer, you are presenting facts or information based on the techniques or using the techniques that a writer uses in a fictional story. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
It's quite creative as well. Now we
Mm-hmm.
are almost there, our journtastic students. So stick around because we still have our prizes to be given away. So we
See you
have
later.
only two more journalism kinds to unlock today. So now the third one, Mamzan, is what we call advocacy journalism. So this is a genre of journalism that, unlike propaganda, it is a fact-based but supports a specific point of view on an issue. So when we talk about advocacy journalism, it is a genre of journalism that is expected to focus on stories dealing with corporate business practices, when we talk about government policies, political corruption, and social issues. So
Mm-hmm.
it's more about having advocacy to serve the public interest in a
Mm-hmm.
way similar to those kind of parang trying to point out the problem, or what we call, most advocacy journalists reject the supposed objectivity of the mainstream of the press. So yung technique lang when it comes to advocacy journalism, para hindi tayo ma-confuse to yellow journalism, new journalism. See, advocacy journalism, it's more about the fact based. So it supports
Mm-hmm.
a specific viewpoint
Point.
or an issue. All right. So
Mm-hmm.
that is advocacy journalism. Now the fourth one, Mamzen, and the last one is
The editorializing, and for this one, this is giving the reporter's opinion rather than the fact. So for editorializing, it simply means that a writer tries to incorporate his or her perception or opinion about the issue rather than presenting the statistics or factual data. So it's like enforcing on the part of the writer on what is his stand rather than on the facts. Ayan, so
right.
yan yung
All right, there we
editorializing.
go. Now we already gave them the different kinds of journalism. So let's just do a quick wrap up, Mamzen, to the different kinds. Again, the
Yes,
first one, Mamzen, is
the type of what was that, Mom Nubs?
starting off with
I
the
did not.
yellow journalism.
Yes, yes, yellow journalism, and that's the first type
The
of
second one was the new journalism.
journalism, and the
Third
third
one
one is
is the
advocacy
advocacy journalism, and the
journalism,
last
and the
one
last
is
one is
editorializing.
editorializing.
All right,
Ayan,
so my
mhm.
all right,
And we
so
also
our
discussed the tenets of
the
journalism. Yes,
tenants
Mom Nubs.
also. All right, so
Yes,
our dear director, allow me to share my screen for our quick game. This is only going to be, supposedly this is 10 questions, but we don't have much time. So let's just cater 3 questions. So we are encouraging all of our Journtastic students to join us in our game for you to win 100 peso Gcash, 50 peso, two consolation prizes of 50 peso Gcash. So it's easy
wow.
win-win game. So, ayun, let me share my screen very quickly. So,
Ayan. All right. So
all right.
you do not
So
just
this
learn
is,
in this. Yes, Ma'am Nubs.
yeah, you will also be gaining baka meron pa
Mm,
kayong gustong bigyan ng regalo for the Valentine's Day, parang post-Valentine gift. So it's your chance to
celebrate.
do that by winning our game. So,
Yeah.
is my screen show now, Mamzan?
Yes, yes, Ma'am Nubs. We can actually
All
see your
right.
screen now.
All right, so
Yes.
our dear Journtastic learners, so please go to kahoot.it for you to
Mm-hmm.
key in this game pin. Our game pin is 6080764. So as much as possible, we wanted to welcome you with fresh episodes. And also, this is our pilot episode, so we wanted to give our all. So we wanted you to enjoy with our pilot episode through this interactive game. So once
Mm-hmm.
again, go to your browser, just simply type kahoot.it and type the game pin. It's 6080764.
764.
So hopefully even just the one of our journtastic students could join, or hopefully more could join. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe now they're still typing the game pin, Mamzen. So let's just wait
Yes,
for
Ma'am
them a
Nobs.
couple of seconds, or hopefully they are now typing the game pin right now. Again, it's 6080764.
074. Ayan.
Again,
So,
our
mm-hmm.
Gcash prizes, 100 peso for the top one. For the top two and three, it's going to be 50 peso Gcash.
Pesos.
Ayun! We now have our student players, our Journtastic
Wow.
players, James,
Mhm.
H2, or is it a hi? Jinver, Yushka.
Hi. Okay, Yushka. Wow.
I love the
Those are
name.
very unique names.
Yeah, I remember I was really curious about where she got her name, but now I
Oh,
ended up forgetting it. I asked her why the name, because it's really nice
very
and
unique.
very unique as well.
Mm.
So we now
And we
have
also have
seven
Ma'am,
players
yes,
on. Yes, Mamzen.
Vanessa, Kay, and Kisha Marie. Yes, Ma'am Nobs.
Yes, we also have them on our interactive game. So hopefully the
Mm-hmm.
others can also join. Habol,
Join.
habol. Come on, come on. We wanted
Yes.
to be interactive in our pilot episode. All right. Hopefully they can still join while we are going to start the game. So hopefully
Mm-hmm.
makahabol pa sila. So we don't have much time. That's why we need to officially begin now. All right, let's
Yes, Ma'am
go.
Nobs.
Hopefully, how many
Unfortunately,
questions kaya, Ma'am Zen? Siguro three
we
questions
have
lang, no?
okay, Ma'am Nobs.
All
Three
right,
questions
let's
would be
go.
all right. Get ready, our dear participants.
Ready your
Ayan.
phones so you could answer this
Mhm.
question. Number one, our first question, Ma'am Zen, is this is a genre of journalism that, unlike propaganda, is fact-based. Oh, na-mention to kanina, fact-based, but
Hmm.
supports a specific point of
Point
view
of
on an
view.
issue. Ano
Ayan. So,
kaya
what do you
ito?
think?
Again, remember the keyword, it's fact-based. Ano kaya to?
Mhm. Ano kaya sagot dito? Our dear Journtastics. Ayan.
Ayun, we still have 15 seconds on the clock, so you can
Mhm.
still submit your answers here. All right. Okay, 7, 6, 5,
Five,
4,
four,
3,
three,
2.
two,
Happy New
one. Time
Year!
up.
All right, so the correct answer is advocacy journalism. Never forget, if it's fact based but supports a specific point, it is
Okay.
advocacy journalism. Now let's go and take a
Mm.
look at our scoreboard. Okay, top
Wow.
one is James,
James.
top two is Kay, and top three is
Okay.
Yushka.
Yes.
Now
Wow.
let's have the next question, Mamzen. Would you like to do the honor, Mamzen, to read the
Yes,
second
Ma'am
question, please?
Nubs. Sure. So the second question is this is based on the wandering imagination of a writer. What do you think is the correct answer for this? Wandering imagination of the writer.
Yeah, earlier we were
Ayan.
able to give a
To discuss
distinction
that
between
one.
the two. All right, so hopefully
Yes.
they can submit their answers. Para naging 70 seconds ata yung time on the clock. So skip natin so we could reveal the answers. So right now we have 11
11
answers na
answers.
submit. So let's reveal now. All right, so the correct answer is
Yes,
literature. So always
literature.
remember, if it's wandering imagination, literature, but if it's based on fact and truth, it's journalism. So we have six na nakapag correct answers. So let's
Mhm.
check the scoreboard, Mamsan, if there is a change. So top one
Oh,
now is
James.
Kate, top two is
Yes.
Chin, and top three is James.
Oh, I
Okay,
see.
right. So move on tayo sa last na natin, Mamzen, question. Let's
Question.
see.
Yes, Ma'am
Go
Nubs.
ahead. Go ahead, Mamzen. It's true or
All
false?
right. First question. Yes, facts are the foundation of all the ambits of journalism. Is it true or false? Fact
Ayun. The
station.
key to this game, Mamzen, is you need to be quick in submitting your answers, and it needs to be
Mhm.
correct. So you could be our
Yes.
top one, two, and three. Come on,
Oh,
our fantastic
I
students.
see. According to Carlo Miguel, hindi po siya maka-join. Alright, but do
Oh
not
my,
worry,
maybe
Carlo,
next
because
time. Yes, it's
yes, we will
true.
still
All
have
of
you
them get
tomorrow.
the correct answer, Mom Zen. So,
Wow!
yay!
All
Let's
of
check our
them.
scoreboard if there is a
Mhm.
change.
There you go.
Oh my, so we have
Also, we
K.
have Kay as the top scorer.
Top
Then we
two, Mom
have
Zen,
Chin.
is
And then
and top
Dre.
three. All right,
Okay.
so congrats. So we cannot show the podium now for our top one, top two, and top three because we don't have much time to show them the entire 10 questions. But this is the basis of our Gcash prizes. Top one is
Wow.
K, top two is Chin, and top three is Dre. So please
Mm-hmm.
message us on our personal FB account so we could
Yes.
give you your Gcash prizes. So congratulations once again.
Congratulations. Yes, congratulations sa ating mga learners no who were able to get the prizes, the lovely prizes from our game today. Now, so much for that,
Right,
Mom
Mumsen.
Nobs. Yes, let me give or let me use this opportunity, Mom Nobs, to give credits to the resource material that we're using in this session, and
Yes.
it's yes, the Foundation Concepts on Campus Journalism for English Course Module, and that's from Batangas State University. For all the writers or to all the writers of this, thank you so much for the module. And
All
with this
right.
also,
So
Mom
hopefully
Nobs,
we could share the screen also. Not sure.
mhm,
Hopefully our dear director could help us share the screen.
screen,
All right.
yes.
So ayun. So we could show our. All right. Thank you, our dear director.
Mm-hmm.
Ayun,
And also,
Mumsen. So
so, Ma'am Nubs, do you have any words to our dear participants?
all right, so our Journtastic students, thank you so much for joining us in our pilot episode. So we still have more interactive games for you and for the whole quarter three. So hopefully you can join us from 4:40 in the afternoon down till 5:20 in the
5:20
afternoon today.
p.m.
So we will be planning out what are those mga interactive games, and of course we need to make our learning as fun as possible. So
Possible,
hopefully you
fun
can
and
stick with
meaningful.
us. Fun and
Yes, Ma'am
meaningful
Nubs.
also. So
And
thank you so much.
also,
All right.
yes, thank
You,
you so much also to our learners who were with us from the first until the last minute of our session. And with that, also, Ma'am Nubs, I'm gonna leave them with this quote. If you want to get or if you want to come close to the heart of the world, then you must take journalism.
wow, that's deep.
And
And of course, it will leave um, a lesson also to our Journtastic students. Thank you
yes.
so much, our Journtastic students. This has been Tutor Nova.
And this has been Tutor Zen
And thank you for joining us in our campus for
mm,
journalism for
for
beginners.
new. I guess.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Ang husay naman! Natapos mo ang iyong tutorial session kasama ang iyong mahusay na ETUlay tutor. May bago ka bang natutuhan? I-share na yan gamit ang hashtag ETUlay Level Up. Huwag aalis ha dahil may susunod pang programa na pwede mo ring panoorin at salihan dahil naghihintay na ang iyong mga tutors. Happy learning dito sa ETUlay!